So, picking up from last time in Renascence, uh, fairly low-key session. Uh, Burberry and Noel made a trip out to Allowvale for the first time. Got a look at the Eastern Diocese and were able to explore the archive there, as well as meet with the head honcho in the region, Cardinal Tarian. You guys had a long sit down conversation with this guy and got his input on what he thinks is going on with Burberry. And his theory is that Burberry is what the Conclave calls a herald, someone who is very intensely attuned to the upper planes, someone who is able to quickly forge connections with celestial and outsider beings, and
Even when they don't technically exist yet.
in some cases, perhaps even generate them of their own accord. And the options that he laid out for you were fairly straightforward sounding. You could take the fight to Quran. You could try to trick him into releasing his hold on Burberry somehow. Or you could cut off the tap. Close off Quran's access to Burberry's wellspring of spiritual power, and in so doing, destroy his interest in forging Burberry further. What that might entail for Burberry long term remains to be seen, but it is a process the Conclave has engaged in over the course of its history. They do have a ritual that they can perform in order to help Burberry accomplish this, if he chooses to. And with those options under your belt, you guys did take some time at the archive in Hallowvale to look into some other smaller questions before making your way back to Freeport. At the same time, Barnaby was working on a bag of bomb with the Eastern Alliance Naval Corps of Engineering, and Alorn was working through some stuff out in the woods. So we are picking up. It is basically the morning after you guys wrapped up your trip, the 37th of Cairn. Everyone, except for Lauren, is back in Freeport. Are there any questions before we get started?
Yes, how good is that novel that young man lent me?
Good is a relative term. It's not very plotty. It's a lot more seasoning than substance, I would say.
Literally, judging by how some of these pages are sticking together.
Oh, that novel. I was like,
I don't want to even know.
Oh.
Oh, right. The dirty one.
The sticky one.
Listen, I have to have something to do while Burberry is reading.
Jesus. Well,
I got no questions.
all right. Who wants to start us out today, then?
I'll go. I need to get the rest of the stuff I need for the bomb. For my personal one.
Sure. Did we cover cost or anything like that for this personal bomb?
No, we got the parts I needed to make the tool. we got the parts to make it, but I still need the 500 pounds of gunpowder.
Right. Okay. So that's a shitload of gunpowder.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you that I don't think that stuff is just readily available off of any corner store shelf. Right.
I figured.
I think your best bet is probably going to be talking with the Eastern Alliance and saying if you can't maybe get a hold of some of this gunpowder.
I won't use it for anything bad, I promise.
I'm not planning anything sketchy at all. So I would say how much is this shit? Eesh. I would say broaching the subject at Fort Franco. It might take some talking, some doing to reach an understanding, just because what you're asking for is a massive quantity of explosives. But I think that the Eastern Alliance would be willing to hand off this much gunpowder to you for 6,000 gold out of the 100,000 that they offered you in goods and service.
I'll do it.
All right. You're down to 94,000 p. But you now have 25 20-pound or no, what is it? 25 20-pound kegs? Yeah. Of gunpowder in your possession.
I'm going to pitch the barrels and I'm just going to stuff it into a bag of holding. Going to make the bomb.
Okay.
I know that'll probably take some time.
I would say that's probably going to take you a few days of work for sure. But loading the bag is not the hard part.
Yep.
And I forget if we settled how big of a blast this was going to take up. This was fireball size, if I remember correctly.
I did the very centralized point where it's not going to do a lot of area of effect, but it's really strong in one spot. I think it was
Gotcha.
like 10 D6 that we decided?
Oh, it's more than 10. I think it was a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, it's a shitload of D6.
Yeah.
Those are some
7
fucking
times
terrifying bombs.
25. Yeah, 7 times 25 comes out to 175 D6 worth of fire damage.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's pretty good.
Totally normal,
Things could
safe.
go wrong.
A very safe object to be carrying around. Especially considering you can't put this in another bag of holding.
No. Although that actually is a good idea. I might want to, until I need it, keep the barrels in other bags and then assemble it when I need it. Basically, have the bag ready to go, and all it has to be done is fill, so to say.
Makes sense.
That might be the best scenario.
How many bags of holding does Barnaby have?
I can have one myself, just because of me.
Right.
And then I probably have to purchase another one if I'm guessing. Get that all covered.
If you want to buy another one, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Bag of holding is not super expensive. Oh shit! All my dice are over there. 1 second. Let's see. Buying magic item. In the wake of the destruction in Freeport, magic items begin a premium. Currently, I think the best deal that you're able to find on a bag of holding right now is 600 gold pieces.
I think I can afford that.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so I'll just stuff all those into some bags of holding
Couple bags, split them up.
till I'm ready.
All right, fair enough. Barnaby has the makings of a very dangerous compact explosive.
That'll be fine.
I mean, if you think about
And
it,
for the person that
Barnaby
gets
is
used
a
on.
very dangerous compact explosive.
This is a shitload of gunpowder you've just purchased. That's so fucking much.
Well, if you need to make a big bomb, you need a lot of boom.
Yeah, I think just so that the Eastern Alliance is communicating, this is probably as much as they can afford to part with, given, the upcoming conflict.
Makes
That's
sense.
1,000 pounds of gunpowder they're committing to 2 of these things.
It's true. That is a lot of gunpowder.
They need cannon fuel. All right. Who's next?
I'd like to go to the bank and inquire about purchasing a large bag of savings.
Big bag.
A lot of bag-related tasks today.
Fair
Well,
enough.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I could get a bag of holding, but we're about to go to a black market, so it might be a good idea to get a bag that nobody can steal and I lose all my possessions from.
Touche. I think that there's definitely a conversation to be had with a representative at the bank, and they're probably asking, like, is this for a business venture? Is this a military thing? As soon as they realize, like, oh wait, you're one of the lost emeralds. But with this coming out that this is a personal use expanded bag, I think they would be able to put one together for you over the course of the next few days. But it's going to be a little pricey. You're looking at about 2,000 gold pieces for this guy.
Can I? Well, no, that's not goods and services from them, because that's a different place. So that will have to come out of my personal funds. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And I'll put large-mouthed bag of savings, I guess, on inventory.
We'll say this thing has about the proportions of a bag of holding for the sake of convenience.
Bag of safe holding. No.
A safe of saving. No.
A hold of bag savings. No, wait.
There you go. And yeah, that'll probably be ready for you. Say first thing next week, like the 41st. So got a few days.
Okay. I will probably spend some time playing with Susanna.
Okay.
Tenzin,
can I help you, buddy?
Treats father.
He wants his blankie.
Oh.
Go on.
And also, reading things.
Reading.
Yeah.
It's filthy.
Oh, how exciting!
Content-wise, and also just literally just a filthy book.
Wait, do I have? Can I get someone to cast me a prestidigitation on this?
I'm sure there's somebody.
I'll give you extra money to not ask any questions.
Like, ugh.
It's not mine.
Noelle could do that. Could.
What will she? I take it as a no.
No, because she'd have to touch it.
I'd have to get too close to it to look up people. So Lauren is still MIA right now, is that correct? As of us returning to the city and...
As of the morning of the 37th, the Lauren was still out in the woods.
Where's Adlar? On the 37th.
Adlar, I think Adlar... I think Adlar's been around either the Presidium or the Green Keep, asking after Aloran's whereabouts over the past couple days, and I think he sent a couple of sending messages, though I don't know what the response would be necessarily. But I think on the 37th, at least, he is probably in the Presidium for the most part, just kind of waiting to hear something.
Okay. I suppose I would ask him, because we're not super up on where Aloran is at the moment, so I would just ask him, have you seen her in the last couple of days?
She flew away, as I understand it. I don't know what happened to her, but
You not prompted that?
well, Alexis said something about the wardens being a bit of a disappointment in the past week. So I imagine it has something to do with it, but as I said, I have not heard from her, so...
I guess I'll use my sending stone and try to message Aloran. I would just say, hey, it's been a couple days. Berber and I went to Olive Vale. Got some cool information there. Getting a little worried, not sure where you're at. I mean, I'm sure you're fine, you can take care of yourself. That probably just cuts off.
Fair. Well,
I don't know if you get a response.
That's very concerning.
Adlar's just sitting there like, yeah, that about property course.
We should probably go find her. He could be in danger.
I mean, Alexi took a look the other night. He said she was out in the woods breaking things, but couldn't really say where. Just, woods. So, I don't know. I wouldn't know where to look. I mean, I'm not terribly versed with the mainland's terrain. But if you know where to start, by all means, please.
Maybe we could start with Alexi. See if he can help us.
Okay. He'll follow along.
Also, if any other lost emeralds are around today, I would drag them along.
Where we going?
Aloran is missing and not responding to sending.
Ooh. How big are the woods again? Oh wait, sorry, I have to see who I am at the moment.
I'm talking to Quantum Burberry right now.
Third berry.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, wait. How big are the woods again?
Well, there's a few, so, I mean, it could be... there's woods
We got
around.
locate object and a few hours of eagle.
You know, there's probably like a 2-week stretch of wood, the Fairwood, that runs south along the coast from Helmfirth down to Handalar. There's, pockets of forest to the west across the harbor. There's sparse forests north of the city, but they are thinning and grow thinner the further north you go, as the climate grows warmer and warmer. You got your pick of directions to pick heading.
Well, let's get to Alexei and see what he knows, if anything.
Yeah. I think getting.
Wait, have you sent to her already?
I did. She didn't respond, and apparently, I gestured to Adlar. He's had the same experience.
He'll just kind of shake his sending stone and pocket it.
Did you try putting a message on a bird foot and hoping for the best?
On a bird?
Tried that one yet?
Well, I have a book, you see. It would have to be a pretty big bird.
We think she's in the forest, right?
That's what Alexei said he saw.
Do you want me to go ahead and try to track her down?
I mean, if you know where she went, by all means.
I'm pretty familiar with the forest. I'm sure I can try to track her. She's probably not trying to hide herself.
Well, we could let's start with Alexei and just see if he knows anything, and then we'll track her down with John if need be.
Okay, let me know.
So, heading to the Green Keep, Alexei is going to be in his quarters and just dressed in sort of plain whites, no warden colors today, as he just kind of opens the door and lets you into the apartment. Well, what brings you all by? It's not often I actually get to see a lot of you.
Yeah. We're a little concerned about Lauren. We wanted to know if you knew where she might be.
Well, have you sent to her?
Yes, multiple times.
Yes. Okay. Alexei will gesture and begin casting his own sending spell. Lauren, it's Alexei. Your friends are all here. Wondering where you're at. If you're all right and willing to spare me a 5th level slot, please let us know you're okay.
I'm fine.
Well, she's alive.
That's more than we
That
got.
is very non-specific. Okay. He will head over to his desk. And he will pick up a very old, beaten leather book, undo the latch, and start flipping through pages. And he'll start kind of wandering around his apartment and kind of perusing shelves and undoing jars, pulling out small bits of component and the like. And he is going to set up a small, very intricate spell circle on his desk. He'll sit down on, and he's going to wave his hand over it, and you will see his eyes begin to roll into the back of his head.
Ooh, this is a good one.
All right. And you will see in the middle of the circle a small sort of illusory projection appear. of this. It looks to be almost humanoid figure, but oddly elongated proportions, shining eyes, and kind of a very narrow, tapered kind of lower body. This very otherworldly looking creature in miniature, glowing on the desk, and Alexei will then say in a strange, kind of echoing voice, "Is the Lauren in the forest to the south of the city?" John D.
I actually have no idea where she went. She's somewhere in the woods. Do I need a... Where's the... Sorry, I have to look at the thingy now.
Sorry. Also, just for reference, your mic is very, very quiet right now.
Mine or Johnny's?
Johnny's.
It's mine.
Gotcha.
It's Chaser. What was the... Did he say south?
Yes.
No.
Okay. He is then going to ask the figure, is she in a forest to the southwest of the city?
No.
Is she in a forest to the west of the city?
No.
Is she in a forest to the northeast of the city?
Yes.
Thank you. And you'll see him wave the figure away, and then just kind of dissipates into a cloud of smoke. And he kind of comes to and dabs a little driplet of blood that kind of starts to peek out the bottom of his nose. Okay, well, we have a heading. Oh, God.
Never seen a spell like that before.
Never seen it draw blood before.
Not my favorite, I won't lie to you. I generally prefer to let He'll gesture at Burberry, the conclave handle that sort of communication. But should the need arise, it is not without its uses.
Okay, well, let's start heading that way. I could be a bird for an hour or two.
Oh, locate person or locate creature. I think I'm a little familiar with the Lord as a creature.
No.
Just moderately.
Isn't locate object like the best of them though? Because there's
I mean, you
no
do have
barriers for it.
you have the ring for locate object.
Oh yeah, we have the Lost Emeralds rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't like... Burberry's not 100% sure that Aloran's being an Aloran right now, and, I don't
If
know
the
if that...
object's not around.
Yeah. Although, granted, I don't know if the same rules apply for locate creature if the person's not being a person at the moment.
I think that actually did come up. With
I mean, it just says describe or name a creature that is familiar to you.
Hey, I can name it.
Yeah. If the creature you described named is in a different form, such as being under the effects of a polymorph spell, the spell doesn't locate the creature. Ah, interesting. I mean, if she is shapeshifted, locate creature would still not work.
I don't think Aloran shapeshifted. If that's...
Yes, but we don't know that.
Oh, that's true. Right, sorry.
This is true.
Well, I mean, I can't
So
really
what's
do
the
anything
play?
except be an eagle, so I will be an eagle.
Sure.
And
I mean, you could make John an eagle.
I could. Oh, I mean, I can polymorph. I can't do two polymorphs is the problem. We only got one eagle.
No, I know. I'm saying you could make John, who can't cast spells, an eagle, so that you at least have non-concentration spells available. For
That's true.
Also, you weigh less than John.
Why haven't we been writing John this whole time?
The big question of this campaign. Sure, if John wants to be a big bird, then
Pickle bird.
a bigger bird, and then I will cast on him. And we will fly to the northwest.
Northwest.
West.
I was having trouble hearing. Did you say you turned me into an eagle?
Yeah, it technically makes
You're
more sense because you
amenable.
are heavier than I am. But you could also,
Makes sense.
you could perception check while you're up there too.
What's the eagle's perception bonus?
That's a good question.
Giant eagle have perception of +4.
Pretty good.
That would be a 19 then.
Sweet.
Okay.
I will join for a perception if that's going to be relevant.
Yeah, sure.
Is Alexi riding on the eagle, or is he just flying?
I don't know if Alexi is coming with.
Oh, he's not coming.
I think as you guys were leaving, Alexi would be in the process of also getting himself ready, as he is heading towards the Presidium,
Oh, okay.
as he has been doing for the past couple of days since the meeting.
Glad John rolled good. I rolled 12.
Oof. Okay. So, with a 19 on perception, as you take off and begin to fly northwest on the back of a giant eagle, you guys very quickly leave Freeport behind you and sort of cross, not cross necessarily, but you're sort of flying along the coast of the Freeport Bay, northern sort of. What's the word for a body of water that's connected by another body? I don't remember. The inlet, the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The northern part of the bay. You're sort of flying along the coast of that. And as you leave the city behind, you're sort of passing over ranch land and kind of rolling hills that are sort of mostly kind of golden brown, bare trees. There's tiny pockets of snow visible on the tops of hills and in shaded nooks in the low mountains to the northwest of the city. And in the distance up ahead, you do see, patchy forest kind of sprawling out across relatively untamed stretches of territory. Kind of to the southwest and north, like more due north along the coast, you can see that there are, pockets of villages, but this triangle that it kind of seems between major roads running from Freeport towards the Verdant Vale, and then again from the Verdant Vale out north. This sort of triangular pocket of wilderness seems relatively isolated compared to the surrounding countryside. So, Lauren, you departed the city, found yourself somewhere isolated to go work stuff out. What are you doing right now?
I'll type it to you.
Okay.
How many days has it been?
Since the meeting, it's been a day. I think the 36th was the meeting, right? And you went and met with the what do you call it? The steward. Basically right after that, and then left. So it's really only been the one night.
Okay. What spells do I know?
At least I think that's right. I feel like it was more than that. I feel like my math is bad.
I'm having a hard time remembering if me and Burberry went to Hollowvale the day of the meeting or the day after the meeting.
My notes say day of, but somehow I feel like I missed a day, because that doesn't sound right to me.
It's possible, because I think we got to Hollowvale in like the afternoon, which would make sense. If it
I think that was the day of the meeting, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a big day.
Okay. So it's been just the one night. So I guess Alexei just last night he scryed Olorn and told Adler like, yeah, she's out in the woods somewhere. All right. Are you making any attempts to be hidden at this point?
Probably.
Probably trying to hide.
Yeah, because she knows she's by herself.
All right. I'll say go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh my god. It was a nat 1 + 2.
Okay.
You try to hide on the tops of the trees, which makes you very obvious to anybody who's above.
To any low-flying birds. Very well hidden from people and bears, not bird.
They're hunting on foot. They'll never find her.
Yeah. I'll say that I think you, John, would see the wreckage before you caught sight of Olorn. As you're getting further and further from Freeport over the course of this polymorph, in the distance up ahead, you can see that there is this sort of crater or gouge in the forest. Broken trees, erupted earth, clearly something powerful passed through this site up ahead of you. And I think you would probably have to land short of it with your polymorph, and it would take you some, probably like a half hour to hike the remaining distance just to close the gap. But you would reach this site of destruction and just kind of taking in the splintered wood and broken stone, kind of taking in the silence of this space. And very, very faintly, when the wind dies down and the branches stop brushing up against one another, you can hear the sounds of sobbing. Muffled and quiet, but definitely present. Somewhere up ahead.
That sounds a lot like emotions to me, and I'm not good with that. You go ahead.
John's just like, you're up. She pushes Noelle and Burberry.
Well, what's happening?
I think she's upset. Do we see her as we progress forward?
I think with the 3 on the stealth check, you would be able to follow the sound once you picked it up and find her kind of curled up under a tree, just hugging her knees and crying into her lap.
Is it because she ran out of alcohol?
Doubt it. Lauren,
Shit.
what happened? What's going on?
Oh, people wipes her eyes. Everything's fine, and she's gonna start
on.
casting a spell. And she will cast Tree Stride.
Counterspell.
I'll do it again.
Counterspell.
God damn it. She will turn into a bear.
I can't stop that.
Lauren very quickly booms into a tree. It's like, God damn it, turns into a bear.
Oh, she's a dead.
What'd you say, Cat?
Never mind. I've been told never mind.
Okay.
Noelle's gonna whisper and says, she turned into a sad bear! Sad bear!
Sad bear.
You're not wrong.
I know, but it's not tactful to say it.
I see a kitty in the corner of that screen.
Oh. He's just hanging.
Cute.
She'd do that.
Lauren, can we please just talk about this? I think I heard you grr.
It's a grr.
That was a growl.
Unless you say no, that means yes.
That's not a great precedent. Just in general.
Who's on top today?
I'm not hearing a no.
How do we know?
Cool, we can talk about it then. Didn't even try for a head shake. I'm a little disappointed, but also impressed.
Oh, we can't really talk about it unless she's not a bear.
I mean, it'll wear off eventually.
For 6 hours?
Yeah,
Wait, no, more than that.
5 or 6 hours.
Like,
More
by
than that
tomorrow.
now.
I mean, you've been gone for 3 days.
Oh, wait, no,
Lauren.
it's 10 hours.
1 day. She's been gone for 1 day.
It's 10 hours.
I was averaging about 2 weeks and it. Don't worry about it.
3 sessions, but it's been a day in game.
Call it a day and a half.
Yeah, it's been a day. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's still longer than 8 hours.
I mean, is she running away or is she just sitting there in bear form?
Walking away.
Okay.
You cut out again, Cat.
Sorry, I bitch. I said, "Oh, can I ride?"
You could try. I don't think she's gonna be happy about that.
Burberry tries to scrabble up her fur.
Please not bareback.
I mean, there's no other way to ride a bear. Bear stomach isn't as effective.
Oh, Lauren is not pleased. I will tell you that much.
You won't tell me anything. You're a bear.
I know. Grrr.
I mean, we'll walk
Oh,
alongside.
Lauren, I've been wanting to do this ever since I crawled over you last time, but I was all worried about getting found out that I never. Please. I don't weigh much.
You hear a sigh. She'll let you climb on.
The bear sighing. Just...
Yep, the bear side. Fine.
Oh, thank you. I picked up a very smutty book that I'll let you read later.
She'll shrug.
Noelle, something's very wrong here.
I'm noticing. I mean, I'll walk alongside. Until I think of something else to say. I literally can't communicate with her. Well, I can communicate at her.
I mean, I think you could still send to her. Because
That's
she'll.
true, but I did just
Yes,
waste
there is
2 spell slots on
first.
counter spells.
It's true.
Well, if they were directed at tree strides, they would have needed to be 5th levels to
Well, I just
go
did
through
like
instantaneously.
2 checks, technically.
Yeah.
Lauren, I know you don't feel like talking at the moment, but, can I talk at you? Would that be okay?
Shrug.
I know you're probably feeling very upset. Because that was a lot of destruction. But it wasn't your fault, you know? I mean, I know that I feel like I failed because I wasn't able to stop anything from happening to a lot of people, but we did what we could with what we had at the moment, and yes, we did end up in some danger, but I don't think anybody really blames you for that. We did choose to go with you, knowing that was the plan in the first place. And that was our decision to make. And I don't want you to feel responsible for it, because we're all so responsible for it. At least that part of it. But we did what we could at the town, and while it wasn't a perfect fix, it could have been so much worse.
Really
And
bad.
I take small solace in that. But he said,
What did Peter say?
Oh, I just said it really could have been worse, that's all. Admittedly, Lauren, it's hard to give you any solace if we don't know what's upsetting you. There's a lot of reasons to be upset, though. The reasons that Burberry listed definitely being among the more relevant these days. I just hope that you know that we can shoulder these things together. That's one of the advantages of being in a group like this, is we don't all have to take on every burden fully. We can share the load and actually talk through these things and move past them together. It's weird because this is all very new for, I think, most of us. We've all been largely on our own for a long time. And Burberry has kept their secrets, or they kept their secret for a long time, and I kept my secrets for a long time, and I can't speak for anyone else, but I wish I had said things sooner. Because everything got so much better when I just talked about it. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. And we'll leave you alone if you ask, but we really want to help, Lauren. You are invaluable, and you are an amazing friend to have. And
plus we have extra insight now,
that's true.
because we had never seen all that stuff before.
We have a lot we could talk about.
Fair enough.
You know, Burr, I think that's probably the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. Hey! Rude.
I don't know. I don't know what a Lauren would say, to be honest.
Burr.
Yeah, grr. Because Burberry's on her back, so she doesn't really want to transform and drop him.
I mean, it'd be funny. It'd be so funny.
It would be funny.
Oh no.
Like Lauren would kind of like shrug, try to get Burberry off of her.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. No, put your foot there. No, not that foot. Gets off.
I think she'd turn back to herself. And she would just hug Noelle. I don't think she'll say anything.
I don't know what's wrong, but I'm sorry.
They're spineless cowards. So mad. That's where Lauren is.
She said they're spineless cowards, though, you said?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Kaus, the Green Wardens, all of them.
Did they tell you?
They're not gonna help.
See why that would upset you. That's unjustifiable, given the circumstances.
I think I'm more mad that I've dedicated my life to people though that don't actually want to help. Like a waste of time.
To waste?
Yeah.
Well, if you weren't with the Green Wardens, you probably wouldn't have met us. Not that I'm saying that we're super important because we're amazing.
If I wasn't with the
But-
Green Wardens, my village would probably still be here.
I do think you're hinging a lot on a specific thing. Like, your village probably would have gone whether you were part of the Green Wardens or... This is not something that I should be saying. But while the organization no longer aligns with your interests or what you perceived their interests to be, they still trained you and you got a sense of camaraderie, and they did help us up to this point. It's just a thing that you've outgrown.
Yep.
I was just about to say the same thing, actually. I think that the Green Wardens were an important step for you, but with something that's this important to you, that you don't believe they align with your values anymore, maybe you've just grown beyond them.
I guess.
That's not a bad thing. If anything, it just means that you have a better understanding of right and wrong than perhaps they do at this point.
So you're going to, of course, leave them and make your own organization called, like, the Leaf Wardens, right?
The Leaf Wardens.
Or the Lost Emeralds.
The Emerald Wardens.
Oh,
We're
man.
bigger and shinier than the Green Wardens. All matte. Lacking in depth.
I think she'd probably just be like, I'm just tired of everyone around me dying.
It is very stressful,
That
yes.
I can get behind.
And now, is Adlar there?
That's a question. Would there have been room on the bird for Adlar and Barnaby and Noel and Burberry?
I thought Barnaby was off doing bomb stuff today.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
true. Barnaby is doing bomb stuff. All right, Adlar's there.
Barnaby's like a whole eagle to himself.
I think Adlar would have been hanging back just because Burberry and Noel definitely kind of stepped forward first.
Oh, sorry.
So he's hanging back with John, just kind of like watching, waiting.
Ooh, the emotions.
Suddenly, I'm very glad I didn't split up.
Yeah, I feel like for Lauren, she just doesn't want anyone else to die, and now like Adler's here, and she's just like, well, I'm gonna get him killed too.
Why is everyone saying I'm going to die?
I feel like for her, she just feels like she just attracts death at this point.
I mean, I literally got a boat split in half.
We've all done a lot of pretty awful stuff. There's been a lot of death in our wake, unfortunately. And there's no easy answer to that one. And it just comes with the territory of making changes in the world.
Yeah. I guess so.
And the best thing we could do is just make sure that the people that are close to us now can stay safe. And if you think that's a priority right now, we can try and figure that out. I know I don't want Adlar to be in danger either.
I'm right here. Look, we talked about this before I showed up. If I'm sitting in Feral and you're sitting here thinking, oh, Lasharag's going to show up and kill everyone on that island, maybe that's not where I should be. And honestly, I'd like to be able to do something about, you being in almost constant danger these past few months. I won't lie, it's a little stressful. So, I feel like at this point, this is like an all hands on deck situation. I think the more people we have on this thing, the better all our chances are. And maybe I can't walk through trees or whatever you were trying to do earlier. But, I know my bow pretty good, okay? And I think there's going to come a day when you're going to be glad I've got it around.
It's not that I don't want you around.
You just think I'm going to bite the bullet like that.
I have just watched everyone close to me die, basically. And I don't. Huh? Well,
Ow! I'm
to be fair, she has seen y'all basically die. A lot.
Hey,
But you've
I
never
only
actually died.
I only went down. Never mind. I can't finish that
I'm at
sentence.
like 2, I think, 2 or 3.
Technically,
Miles away, every wound on Barnaby's body just kind of like tenses at once, like
Oh,
It's like
that didn't feel good.
like Frodo and
I've
his
only gone
fucking
down
Ringer's
once.
knife.
I don't think Lauren has ever gone down, and I think that's part of the problem. She's like, if you all die, I'll be like the last one standing, and I don't like that.
okay.
It just means you
Technically,
just need to become strong enough that none of us have to fight anymore.
Burr hasn't gone down yet. Aries gone down a few times, but Burr hasn't yet.
Burr's always the legs in a fight.
That never works.
No, it's just that's how the cards have been stacking. So yeah, technically Burr's been fine.
Burr and Lauren right there.
There you go.
Never hit 0, buddies.
It's our idiocy that keeps us alive.
That and the other thing. The not going down and go to 1 hit point instead thing.
Oh.
I don't have that, unfortunately.
No, you just have
No,
two entirely new
you-
creatures worth of helpful hit
I mean, you
points.
kind of do if you consider that the animals as being a thing.
Sort of like that.
Except instead of
I've had
1,
these
you go down
where
to
I
like
die on 1 hit points
90.
too.
Yeah, John's been pretty resilient as well.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, y'all are fucking tanky as shit. It's bullshit. I've tried.
Sounds like a man who's about to make his villains.
I mean, you did knock me out once.
Once in almost 100 sessions.
You got me close, I think, 3 times.
Boss isn't dead. Anyways, Adlar, I think, will step forward and put an arm on, or a hand on your shoulder, and he will say, I know I am not quite on your level anymore. You have definitely stepped beyond what I ever thought was possible when we first met on Feral, but I still want to help. And I'm not the only one. Your friend Alexei has been back at the Presidium. He was on his way back there, actually, today. After spending all day yesterday after that meeting.
Alright, Gideon did want to show us something.
That's his name, Gideon. Also that guy, and Gerald, and Aaron, and those 2 little guys. I'm they're in it. They're down to fight.
And don't worry, Lauren. Even if they go down, they won't be down for long.
We shall see.
Now, they won't be down for more than 10 days.
As long as this one doesn't go down, as he points to Burberry. So we keep the dragon in the hat as safe as possible, and everything else will be okay.
I like the dragon in the hat. That's a good one. I'm gonna keep that one.
That's kind of a cool title, actually.
Out of the way, Burberry. I am now the dragon in the hat.
Sounds like a children's book, actually.
Ooh, maybe I can get
Dr.
someone-
Volo's children's book series.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The dragon in the hat strikes again.
Well, I was gonna say to Adlar, I think I'm perfectly okay with having you around. I just think we need to make sure we're using you properly. Making sure we strategically employ your specific skill set.
And if I try to punish you,
don't
let
disagree.
me.
Rather than say, like, throw you at a giant worm creature on the bay or something like that. Probably not gonna go super well.
I mean, I'm not going to be up in his face, stabbing it. That seems much more John's speed. But, at a safe distance back, I think I could maybe take a couple eyes out from cover in the dark.
You know what would be really fun? This is not Noel talking anymore. This is Peter. It's a test of Adlar's skills right now.
Okay. What do I have to show you? As he starts taking the bow out.
I don't know, I didn't think very far ahead on this.
You can think that one through ahead of time, huh?
Give me a second.
Shit, what do I say?
He's thinking it through.
Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Hold Person on Adlar.
Jesus. You guys did this to him in the bar. You banished him, remember?
That didn't count. He was drunk.
And he still succeeded on the first save. Banishment? Or no, hold person. So that's wisdom save.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's a failure, I think. It's a 10.
It's because he was drunk he succeeded.
Cool. Nell's gonna skip up, take the butt of her rapier, and just start smacking him.
It's a crit, so you deal 2 damage.
Doesn't that go away whenever you hit them?
Well, he gets to make the save again.
Yeah. That's an 18.
Okay, that will save.
Hey, sweet. That's the end of his turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll hit him again.
You're just gonna hit him again.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have to roll
Okay.
for this one. Oh, that's terrible. 12.
Okay, that is a miss.
Okay,
Um,
your turn.
he
Um,
very
go
quickly.
ahead and dedicate healing spells to Adlar for this fight to make it fair. That's to whisper. He's gonna whisper that to you, Noel. Not trying to bring down his
Adlar will reach into a pouch on his belt and pull out a handful of either dirt or dried herbs or something. Hold it up to his mouth, whisper something into it, and then throw it onto the ground. And there's a thick cloud of obscuring fog that goes up around you.
Okay.
Ooh, fun.
Okay. And it is your turn.
Cool. I will turn back out of the cloud, I guess. See what I see.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, you back out of the cloud and you see whoever was standing outside of it, John and Aloran, potentially.
Probably.
Is there like we're in a forest still, there's tree branches nearby?
Yep.
I will use my free once a day Misty Step to poof with bonus action onto a tree branch.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, I guess, hold an action to perceive the search.
So you want to use your action to search?
Yeah, but I don't want to
Okay.
use it now because he might, technically he hasn't had a turn, so he might still be in the thing, but, you know, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the trigger then for this search?
Well, let's just
You-
say
you
if I
waiting for?
see, you know, movement on the outside of the fog cloud or whatever.
Okay, sure. Then on his turn, see Misty stepped up into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna shoot where you were standing.
Noel, you're gonna hear Adlar's voice in your ear as he's like, "So am I supposed to like actually try to hurt you now?"
Yeah, sure. why not?
And you turn around and like he's like kind of like clinging to the tree next to you, kind of breathing a little heavily. He says, "Okay," and he'll try to push.
Sure, okay.
All right. The 19 athletics check.
Okay. Oh, that might actually win. I get to choose, correct?
Acrobatics or athletics? Yep.
Cool. That's actually a 21 acrobatics.
Damn. So he pushes, and you very quickly kind of like drop back, grab hold of the branch, and swing back up, kind of planting your feet in one deft motion, avoiding the shove. But by the time you do, Adler might be out of sight. What's your passive perception?
Pretty decent. Passive is 17.
17. Okay. You do not see Adler.
Okay.
He is no longer in view.
I'll just use my action to try and perceive him.
All right, give me a perception check.
Boy, can't roll good on this. That's another 12.
Don't know where he is.
Okay. I will. Let's see. Bonus action. I don't have anything specific to do, so I'll do nothing this turn.
All right, just hanging out on this branch.
Yep.
Okay.
Where are you?
And he will say, "Right here," as he drops from the branch overhead onto the branch you are currently standing on, and just landing with as much of his body weight as he possibly can, tries to shake you off the branch. kind of disrupting your balance.
I'm gonna offer Aloran and John apples to eat while we watch this.
So he's going to treat this as another shove attempt. Ooh, there we go. Nat 20.
Oh shit.
Go Adlar.
Oh, it's a 10 total.
Hey, so he just kind of like hits the branch, and as it springs back into place, he launches himself back up to the branch he just fell from, and you get kind of flung off to the side, out of the tree and down to the ground. So being, say, 20 feet up in the air,
Sure.
take 9 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And he is back amidst the foliage, and you do not see him in that tree.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a bolder play here. Let's see. I'm just gonna take a guess. I'm gonna go for a hypnotic pattern just on the whole tree area that he was previously in.
Okay,
Sort of those
sure.
upper branches.
Wisdom save.
I believe so.
Okay. Does a 20 save.
It does.
Sweet.
He might not even need healing.
Okay, then I will just. I'll duck. I'll get sort of like half cover behind a different tree on the ground.
Okay, sure.
You know, I'm really glad they're both rogue, or they're not both rogues, because this would be much less interesting.
That's accurate.
Okay. So Noel taking cover. I mean, are you getting further from the fog cloud, or are you kind of staying in the
I'll get a
vicinity of
little away
the?
from the fog cloud.
Okay, so going a little bit further out from the party into the woods. Lauren, I think you, with your passive perception, would be able to see the humanoid form kind of leap from the branches, the upper branches of this tree, across, the gap into the next one. But Noel, I don't think that you would notice with your passive perception until he dropped down in front of you from the branches, and he's. I guess I'll just make a couple attacks.
Okay.
He's got like the blunt of his dagger that he's like just slapping you in the face with it.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Sweet. So you take all of fucking. That'd be pretty decent damage. Oop. Shit, where'd my.
Did we lose blood for a second?
I think we did.
Oh no. Make a note of
By
that.
default, Adlar gives up.
I win!
No!
Oh, there you go. You're back.
No! So that would be 8 damage from the first attack. Actually,
Should
wait.
I roll damage for my rapier hits then, or no?
Unless you were just tapping him.
Well, I said I
I'd
was
say
hitting him,
go
I was
ahead.
just doing the same thing he's doing with the dagger. Just like the blunt of it.
Okay. Yeah, then go ahead and roll damage for it then.
What should I have rolled for that?
It'd be D8, we'll say.
The worst possible curse. The
Use the
buffering
rapier
curse.
damage. Lovely.
Add strength then?
Well, it's a rapier. It's a finesse weapon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody else seeing Plet
Yeah,
on a
plus
loop?
video is totally glitched if I want to reset that real quick. Look, you were dancing.
Is this okay? Am I visible,
Yeah,
audible
you're
now?
good. So the first one was
Okay.
a crit, correct? So I rolled twice?
Yep.
Okay. Pretty good. And then I gave him... Or no, I only hit him the one time. So that would have been 14 damage from the rapier hits.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll take the 9 from...
9 from this hit. There is going to be an extra D8 for Colossus Slayer since you took fall damage.
Sure.
So you're going to take 5 extra damage.
Colette just called you fat.
It's not how that ability works.
No, I know. It's just Colossus.
Slay the Colossus.
And he will. You know what? He gonna cast a spell with this second knife strike. You'll see the hand dip down into the pocket again and just kind of like throw this wad of tree and plant material at you as the knife blow comes in at a different angle. So he's going to try and land a hit. That's going to be a 21 to hit.
Yep.
And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, my dice is not happy with me today. That's definitely...
Go.
Well,
Adlar.
15?
15. Where's his spell save? Ah, damn it. Yeah, that's a success.
Okay.
There is a sudden kind of burst of reaching tendrils and vines that kind of like try to wrap around you, but you sort of like lean in, or not lean into the boat, lean with the blow, kind of let yourself kind of like fall to the side and roll out of the way as these vines just kind of like snap up at the empty air around the tree where you were previously standing. You will take the damage, which is not going to be much. It's going to be 5.
Okay.
But that is his turn. And he is now standing in front of you.
A poor decision.
Oh.
Let's do... let's see. Let's go with the... sorry, I always forget the name of this ability. The Unsettling Words.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll just say that it's not bad, but it's over for you. I'll cast. Oh shoot! I don't think my spell's gonna be quite as cool. I'll just do it. I'll just do a hideous laughter.
Hideous laughter.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you roll
Oh my
minus, 5 from this save.
He loses 5. Oof. Well, that's a -2 then.
Okay.
Well, 0, I guess, from the adding his bonus to it.
Yeah.
And he starts laughing and kind of falls over. He's just like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Let's see. I forget how long he's. That's like an ender every turn. He gets to make the save again, I believe,
Yep.
right? Each
That
time
is
he
correct.
takes damage, target's manages to save through. Concentration up to a minute. Yeah, we'll just take some attacks then while he's laughing.
Okay.
Or
Well,
an
he
attack
needs
and
to
phrase.
make a save. That's an @1. Oof. All right, go ahead and make your attack.
Yep.
So you will have advantage.
Ooh, natural 20.
Jesus Christ.
So that's. I gotta use my rapier so little. Cool. Huh? That's not great. That's 11 damage, or 12 damage, sorry. For that attack.
Okay. Do you have extra attack?
No, I don't actually. I don't know. I keep saying I'm used to fucking my other character.
Res.
Yeah.
So he'll have advantage on this next wisdom save to try and break it.
Yep. And I'll say that. Yeah, I'm standing next to him for this too.
17?
That meets it.
Okay. He is... Why is this not working? There we go. The sound had cut out.
Oh.
All right, so he is no longer laughing, and he begins to start getting to his feet. But I don't think that he can because it's the end of his. Or no. That's from the damage. So he does get a turn.
Okay.
Haha. Okay. He is going to. He is going to disengage,
Okay.
and he is going to dart around this tree towards some brush. And you hear movement, but you do not see him.
Oh, okay. That's finished.
Whoosh.
Let's do mirror image then.
Okay.
And I will find a nearby tree, roughly in the direction he darted, and get some half cover or whatever I would assume is half cover, given I don't know where he is.
Okay. Um. Adlar will. Okay. We'll just try not to chew through this. An arrow from an previously unseen Adlar in the tree that you were just under, not the one you're currently under, will fly out towards you. 23 to hit.
That might hit. Oh, then I might have just hit the number. Let me check. Could make it obvious, huh, Dice? 6 or higher. I rolled a 6. So he does hit a duplicate, just barely.
So-
It whizzes right by Noel's shoulder.
One duplicate. And then another arrow very quickly after that.
Yep.
That is going to be a 27 to hit.
That will also hit a duplicate.
Okay. And he very quickly ducks behind the trunk of the tree and conceals himself in foliage once more.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have like fairy fire. That'd be a lot better. I guess I will just. Um. I think I'm going to. Damn, this is tricky. I don't have anything great for this strategy.
You sneaky boy.
That's terrible. I'll just. I really just have nothing for this circumstance.
Do you need help, Noel?
Where the hell did he go?
Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So I have like a plus 12 to it.
Jesus.
Unnatural 20.
Means it beats it. He has climbed even higher up into this tree and is now sort of perched amidst, browning pine needles, probably about 60 feet up off the ground, looking down at Noel.
Lauren's gonna wave at him.
He's just gonna hold a hand up to his lips like,
Don't you fucking dare.
I spy with my little eyes an Adlar.
Are you pointing him out, or are you just playing games?
I'm
with him?
looking at him, not hiding that I'm looking at him.
I guess Noel will follow Shawnee's or Lauren's eyeline.
what's your passive perception?
17.
17. Oh, man. I mean, following the clue, I think you could see he's up there, although he very quickly shrinks out of kind of line of sight
Sure.
behind the branches as Aloran starts talking. But you do get the sense, like, okay, that's where that motherfucker went.
Gotcha. I guess
You're being a good friend or a bad one, Aloran, and it's amazing.
He'll survive.
both simultaneously.
Here, have an extra apple.
So much fruit.
I mean, I have this box of chilling, so kind of what I keep in it.
That or squidsickles, but I don't think Aloran liked the squidsickles very much, so I'm giving her instead.
Don't think she did either.
Alright, just for the sake of getting to try the spell X, I haven't done it yet. Noelle's going to. She's going to sort of like mimic this motion of like removing like a silk glove from her hand, and next to her is going to spawn this giant Big Bee's hand.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna send the hand up to the last spot I saw.
You just hear, that's not fucking fair. That's his hand whoosh up towards him.
I'm gonna send it right to where she last saw him, and it's just gonna start like violently shaking the tree that he's in.
Okay.
It's pretty strong.
Is that grasping or is that forceful?
Let's see. I can push a
You
creature.
say forceful hand?
I feel like I'm not really doing necessarily any of these specific actions other than just like grabbing the tree and shaking it back. It's not so much like I'm hitting Adlar directly, more just fucking with him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense of the effect that's coming off of this to make the ruling. Because this feels like shake him out of the
Yeah,
tree.
we'll say
which
forceful hand is probably the closest to what's going on here.
So I'll say, go ahead and have the hand make a strength check.
Okay. It says I have advantage if the target is medium or smaller.
Target's medium or small, you have advantage. If you succeed, the hand pushes the target to 5 feet. Contested by their athletics. Oh, and they don't get a choice either. That sucks. Alright.
Yeah. That's a +6 or +8 to the hand.
It looks like a +8 to the hand.
Cool. Not amazing. 22.
Yeah, that's way more than Adler rolled.
Okay.
So he is moving 5 plus a number of feet equal to 5 times your spellcasting modifier.
Apparently.
So I guess if you're shaking him, then we could just have him losing his balance and falling out of the tree.
Yeah, that's kind of what the goal was.
Okay. So he's definitely going to take some fall damage here.
How high is he falling from?
60 feet.
How bad is that?
66.
66 damage.
So this giant glowing hand just rushes up to the tree and just violently shaking this pine tree, and you just see Adler like bounce out of it and then like pachinko machine down the branches.
Could I cast what is it called? Oh my god, I just saw it. The one where you create. I have it. What the hell? Plant
Wait.
growth. Can I cast plant growth?
Plant growth.
Yes, and I'll make him like something to fall onto.
Oh.
No, Lauren, I need this damage.
She's helping both of you.
That's fair.
Okay.
Sure. We'll say suddenly there's this really thick green bush grows up at the base of the tree that Adlar, after kind of down the tree, lands on top of with a nice cushion. So we'll have the damage. We're down from 17 to 8.
Okay.
To which Adlar says, "Oh, thank you." And as he kind of gets back to his feet, he pulls 2 arrows out of his quiver and again shoots Noel.
Okay.
That is a 18 to hit.
I have 1 mirror image left. I gotta roll pretty high for that. No, that's gonna hit Noel.
Okay, so Noel is going to take a chunk of damage. That's going to be...
Oh, wait. Sorry. With 1 duplicate, you must roll 11 or higher. I rolled an 11. I thought it was 13.
Okay, so your last duplicate vanishes?
Yes.
Alright, second arrow flies. And he's going to say, sorry about this. This is going to be a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. So... This shot hits you squarely in the solar plexus. You don't feel a puncture. You feel like a fist just like punched you in the chest, like knocking the wind out of you with this blunt tipped arrow. There's a slight sound. You hear something crack. You are going to take 13, 16, 26 bludgeoning damage from this shot.
Yeah, Adler.
And he is very quickly going to lean back into the brush and kind of vanish into this bush that Aloran conjured. Okay. And you do not see him again.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have Bigby's hand. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use my bonus.
Also,
action.
did you roll a concentration check on that hand?
No, I've not. I will do that.
Por favor.
What do I have to beat?
Or it would be a 13 with 26 damage.
I rolled a natural 14.
Man, you are just like getting it by hairs.
Yeah, I keep rolling 1 above the things. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just I'll use interposing hand between
Okay.
me and Adlar.
You in the bush.
It says the hand interposes itself between you and a creature you choose until you give the hand a
Interesting.
different command.
The hand moves to stay between you and the target, provided you with half cover against the target. Target can't move through the hand's space if his strength score is less than the hand's. If interesting.
I can kind of use it like a compass to like see where he relatively is to me.
That's slightly fucky because you definitely see as soon as you direct the hand, shield me, it like drops down in front of you and then pivots to your left as you see Adlar suddenly like lean out from behind a tree with his bow ready, like, oh motherfucker, as he tries to shoot between the fingers.
I still have an action.
Oh, you do? Oh shit.
I don't know if I can really do much with it, but I have one.
Well, before Adlar leans out, what are you doing?
That's a good question.
I mean, you can hold it until you see him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sure, we'll hold a I guess we'll just hold a crossbow shot. Why not? If he pokes his head out.
Crossbow shot. Okie dokie. He leans out, so yeah, go ahead and make your shot after he makes his. He will have an advantage on this.
I'm actually probably gonna hit it.
And that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, although wouldn't I hit him first technically? Because mine was a reaction to seeing him.
Right, but you wouldn't see him until he took his shot, because he was hidden. Because you would have advantage from making the hidden shot. That would reveal his position, and then you would get your reaction.
Well, I did get a 22 to hit.
22. Okay. He got a dirty 20. Would that hit you?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So, again, you are taking 25 bludgeoning damage.
I'm out.
This one hits Noel square in the forehead, and just straight as a board, flat back on the ground. And that's like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry, as he starts rushing over.
I'll mass healing word. Since I have
And you will come to, Noel.
to the over.
Well, you beat up Noelle, now you have to beat me up.
Okay.
Not fair. I didn't think she was going to go that hard, okay?
Hey, I only have one wild shape, you'll be fine.
No, look. You've got a sense of how I'm practicing some stuff.
Noel
Right?
and Adler both get 10.
Cool. Some of the scuffs and bumps on his face from where Noelle's bludgeoned him with the butt of her rapier start to fade.
Cool, Alorn will turn into a giant constrictor snake.
Not cool, motherfucker.
Noel, let me heal you up the rest of the way.
Okay. Thank you, Burper.
She's actually really not attacking him, she's just like...
What are you doing?
She's just holding him as a snake.
I feel like he's taking this seriously still. So I'm going to have you either make an attack or a grapple check if you want to grab him.
Take 19, Noel.
So a grapple?
Either grapple or an attack with your constrictor thing.
I think doing that is an attack.
Okay.
Yeah, constrict is an attack.
Then go ahead and make a constrict attack if you want to. If you're willing to damage him. If you just want to grapple him, you can grapple.
Fuck it. Okay, so that is a 16 plus 6.
That
It's
hits him.
Call if you need healing, and I'll fix it to balance it out. You'll definitely need it for the wild shapes.
Like, I surrender. This is not fair. I did not think I would have to fight your snake.
Laura doesn't take surrenders.
No.
Should John join in on
14.
Oh no, he
14
wanted to have a
damage.
fighting chance, John.
On Adlar's
Should
side?
John join in on Adlar's side?
I'm on that.
Lauren is like tapped on spells and only has one wild shape, and this is one of her weakest forms. So you can. But
He's not going to be doing much.
I'm not doing much. I'm more of just fucking with him. It was 14 damage.
John
14
calls out to
damage.
Adler. Let me know if you need some help.
He can barely like get anything out as the snake starts like wrapping around him. He can't do anything except try to escape the grapple, so he's going to try.
I'll give him enhanceability.
Oh, thank
You have
you.
enhanceability with strength.
Okay, so he doesn't get advantage on this.
Isn't that a strength one? Whichever
You
stat
can choose, technically.
helps.
You can choose to break grapples with athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, so I'll give him a guess that's dexterity.
That would be dex, yeah.
I'll give him
Okay.
dex.
Sure. Then advantage. Okay. 24 to escape the snake.
What is that? I don't know what that.
Where is giant snake?
Oh, DC 16. Got it.
16. Okay. So he will escape with the snake, and then he will very quickly try to hurry away from the snake. And I think you're going to get an attack of opportunity because that was his action.
Okay. I'll constrict him again. That would be a 17.
17 will hit. So you just lunge at him as he tries to get away. You catch him by the ankles and pull him back into the coils. How much damage does he take?
I'm not. Oh, could I just grapple him on that one? Is that okay?
That would not be an attack of opportunity then.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That would be 11 damage.
11. Okay, so you grab him and continue to squeeze as you wrap yourself more around him. His face is starting to turn blue. He's like,
She'll stop. She'll stop.
and it is your turn.
I'm gonna like not squeeze him and then just rest my giant snake head on top of his head.
Okay, so you're just you're holding on to him, but you're not constricting.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like,
She's just messing with you, Adlar.
Probably.
that hurt a lot more than messing. As he looks up at the snake,
Been messing? Is that what he said?
then messing with me.
She'll lick him with her snake tongue on his face.
Ugh. I remember when I helped you find one of these things. Now I regret it.
What have I made you become?
Oh, if he'll take the help, Noelle will help get him out of the snake coils, I think. Or try.
Thank you.
Nope. Lauren's gonna at her.
I mean, he still has enhanceability. That lasts for like an hour.
Sure, but he's not gonna be able to get away.
She's gonna nip at Noelle in the morning.
Lauren?
Nip.
His face is turning blue. Let's just get him
No.
down.
I'm not really constricting him. I'm just holding him.
He is at 3 hit points for the record.
Oh,
Oh.
here, have a 4th level cure wounds. Because I can.
Just torture him. We just give him hit points and then wrap a stake around him.
Keep fucking with him.
Hold on. Mathing. He gets 21 hit points back.
Okay.
I mean,
That's not terrible.
He did ask.
Yeah, he's
Oh wait,
pretty
actually, I have 5th level spells now. I'm about to
for the 5th.
yeah, make that 26.
26. Alright. Yeah. Well, as he kind of feels his strength returning a bit, he will attempt to get out of the snake.
See,
That's
I
a
said I'd help him if he asked
17.
me, yes, so I'm helping.
Ooh, he barely.
Or 18, excuse me. 18 to escape.
He barely does it.
He's just like, get off of me as he's like pushing up. I don't think he's going to try and run this time though. I think instead he is going to How big is the giant snake? It's huge.
It's
That's
a
not,
huge
that's
beast, yeah.
not shovable.
No.
All right. Well,
Can he attempt to shove and then fall on his ass? I think that'd be really funny.
he's just gonna like push your head out of the way as he like clambers up over your coils and like drops back down to the ground. And he's just gonna hold a hand up like, okay, you have made your point. I am not escaping the snake.
He's gonna start slithering towards him again.
Okay, come on, let's not do this. This is
Grapple.
backing away.
Grapple. Ooh.
Oh, he has advantage. That's right. Thank you, Burberry.
Okay.
I rolled 2 14s.
I did a
So
23.
21. Fuck. Wraps around his ankles. He falls over. You just pile onto him. He's like, I am tired. Okay. This was harder than I thought it would be.
Well, you did a good job.
Sorry about the mock. That might.
You didn't have to hit me right in the head.
Yeah, I got really into it a moment. You know, you were like, oh, this magic was coming out, and I felt like I should maybe try a little actual try and not. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm impressed. If a
I
Lord
can
will let
shoot.
me, I'll help him up off the ground.
Nip.
He bops your nose. Stop that. As he tries to take Noel's hand.
He will.
I'm trying to
Do a
be a
little
good
bite
sport
at him.
here.
I'm doing bites at y'all right now. Just
Actual bites.
what? No, like threatening.
Did you
Like
do a little
she's
bit
biting
too?
at them. Yeah.
Just
She'll
fussy snake.
Fine.
shove Adlar with her face.
Am I allowed up yet?
Apparently not.
Okay, well, when you decide that this is good enough or bad enough or whatever, let me know. I might actually just take a nap.
Well, we can get back to the Presidium. We could all take a little rest.
What's going on, Lauren? What are you doing? You let him up?
Hmm.
Arr.
I'm just trying to move the session to break at this point.
Fine.
No
Alright.
breaks. Only half combat.
As
Yep.
he pulls himself out of the snake's coils, gets to his feet. Like dabbing the corner of his mouth. It's like, I think you cracked my lip. Well, shall we head back or?
Probably wise at this point. Lauren, do you intend to join us back at the Presidium, or do you need more time out here?
I think she'll turn back into a person. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if I want to go back and see people.
Well, I know that
I mean, you could just go back, hang out at the Presidium, see nobody, maybe tease Gideon a bit.
Gideon hates me. I just avoid him now.
I mean, there's no reason not to tease him if he doesn't like you. Doesn't just like. My brain's getting turned around.
he doesn't hate you. Also,
Oh, he hates me.
he is just a very serious person, and you are less serious than him.
He's boring.
That's a word for it.
Adler just kind of quietly nods to you in agreement with Lauren. You're not wrong.
But he is also very smart, and I think he has something to show us. So it'd be nice to be able to do that all together. Again, you don't have to come back right now, but before dinner, probably, if that works for you.
Do I have to?
It would be very appreciated.
Fine.
Thank you. Maybe we can Plan to do something outside of Freeport here soon. Get a little break from this place. Alright,
I wouldn't
I'll
say no.
use my last high level slot to go back into eagle form and take whoever I can carry. Whoever wishes to go.
Everyone you brought, presumably.
Yeah. Burberry will also slip Aloran the book and say,
Page 211 sticks.
She'll flip to it. Probably sit back down in her little tree.
Okay.
Alright, back we go.
I think Adlar will probably opt to hang back if Aloran doesn't make any faces that would be unwelcome.
She will not tell him no.
Am I flying us back?
Oh, I turned myself, but yeah, whatever, it's fine, either way. We'll get back.
Okay. So, we'll leave off midday-ish. Most of the party's back in Freeport. Aloran and Adlar in the woods. But we know where everyone is.
Yes.
So, we can take our break, be back in 10, and pick up from there.
Okay, switching to break. Stream is back then.
Okay, cool. So, picking up where we left off, the party has mostly returned to Freeport. Lauren, still out in the woods, taking a look at the new book Burberry has handed to her. Adlar's probably just kind of chilling nearby. Anything anybody wants to do?
I think I would touch base. I mean, doesn't have to be a scene, but she would just check to see if Gideon. Am I just remembering wrong? But he wanted to show us something at some point, right?
He did. I think Alexi and Gideon were both like, yeah, like towards the end of the week, potentially, we might have something.
Okay.
I'd say when you get back to the Presidium, though, you don't see anybody but Gerald around.
Yeah. Probably would also be. Well, I guess we'd have to do it at the party. So nothing else then at the moment.
Okay. Aloran.
Mm-hmm.
In the woods.
Yes.
Any change in plans or thoughts at this point?
I think she's just kinda chilling.
Okay. I think as the sun starts to sink out of the sky in the afternoon, Adlar will probably just kind of shoot her a look and be like, so when do you think you're going to be ready to head back?
I guess we can go now.
You sure? I mean, if you need more time, I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just kind of checking in, you know?
I'd like to stay out here for a few more days, but I've been asked not to do that, so...
Any particular reason? Outside of the Wardens are a bunch of cowards.
Just calm out here. Oh, and then I think Alorn would use her plant growth to rebuild the forest that she laid waste to.
Yeah. I think it would take some doing. You know, you're not gonna mend a tree back together necessarily, but
Yeah, she'll start like growing trees.
yeah, you can kind of reseed the ground, the overturned earth, and kind of set some of the fallen debris to begin either taking root or rapidly decaying and sort of returning to the earth. I think Adler would say, I think everyone's a little concerned, but if you want another night out here or two, I think as long as we let everybody know, I can't imagine they'd have a huge problem. You just got to talk to us, He holds up the sending stone.
I still don't really feel like talking that much.
Sure. Yeah. I'm here if you change your mind.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. He will get a camp set up as the sun starts to set that evening. And I guess as it grows dark, it's probably evident to the party in Freeport that Aloran is staying out.
Sorry, guys.
At least Adlar's there this time.
She'll do a little sending to Noelle and just be like, I want some more time out here.
Yeah, I understand.
Right. Well, I think that evening, anyone hanging around the Presidium would probably see Gideon, Aaron, and Alexei emerge from the dungeons around dinner time. Probably be a quick exchange in the lobby, the entryway of the fortress before they say their goodbyes for the night, and Alexei heads out back towards the Green Keep.
I think before they just like as they're saying they're sort of quiet, like wrapping up their evening, Noelle's just kind of like sitting in a chair in the main room, and she's just like, "So what have you guys been doing?" Very secretive around here.
I think you see Gideon kind of glance over his shoulder before he turns back to Alexei and continues the low conversation. Alexei will give you a wave over Gideon's shoulder. Aaron will probably turn back towards you and start making her way into the main room. Well, those two finish their conversation. She says, I heard someone was sniffing around down in the dungeons the other day.
I just wanted to see what was going on. Guys are so quiet and secretive.
You'll forgive us if we're being a little cautious with this.
I do understand. It's actually just been super quiet since Aloran hasn't been here a lot recently.
It's been quiet since Kono and Ranger left too, honestly. Castle's just been empty.
Really? Yeah, that's true.
I think that Gideon is warming to the idea of pulling you guys into this, though.
Into what?
The dungeon thing.
Right.
But Lauren was there, she'd be like, wow, he's finally gonna lock me up for good. But she's not there.
A little Omaki aside bubble thing pops up. But Aaron, from behind the helmet, you can hear there's a tinge of caution in her voice. It's pretty evident. She says, it would be a step up from where things are now, as far as how involved the Lost Emeralds would be with the Watch if we were to pull you in. It's not a small thing.
That gives me a lot more questions, but I will be patient. Is there any ETA on when we get to the big reveal?
Well, I think the next couple days here, we should have a clear enough idea what we're dealing with.
I assume Rainer and Secundo are doing okay over there. It sounds like they've been kind of flaky on getting back to you guys, but...
Yes, we heard back a few hours ago, actually. They're camped outside Crown Peak right now.
It's good.
So they'll be heading in tomorrow, and hopefully they find something. They said there's a red light shining out from the lower levels of the ruin. You can see it from the valley floor.
Does this have... I assume it has nothing to do with Willem's patron, right? That wouldn't make sense. Is it just like dark?
Aaron just kind of cocks her head. I'm starting to wonder if that's not the case.
Really? But did... I mean, I wouldn't know necessarily who he worshipped, but like... I don't think it was the Leviathan. I guess I don't know.
Erin again kind of cocks her head, thinking, this is... It's not impossible. I mean, your friend Burberry's sketches looked like a flower in the ceiling, but I could see that being interpreted as something else.
Well,
Shit.
I guess all will be revealed once we can clarify this with Gideon. Or maybe when Raynor and Secundo figure things out. I don't know.
Alexi's agreed to reach out to them tomorrow night after they've had a chance to look at everything. So we should have a much more thorough briefing to work with after they're done.
That's good. Okay, sorry if that was a little rude. I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little stir crazy just being stuck in here.
I don't blame you, honestly. There's a lot more I wish we could do to help.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll turn in. Good night, Aaron.
Have a good night, Noah. So,
Need sleep, I'm ouchy.
owie.
I'm very ouchied right now.
Alright, well, anything for the evening before calling it for the day and moving on to the 38th?
In here.
Nope.
Alright. Then, across the the greater Freeport Bay area, the party will individually find their rest either in the Presidium or out in the wilderness, and you'll wake untroubled, rested, recovered, ready for a new day. Anything on the 38th? No?
Did we want to discuss possibly going on our next leg?
We need a Lauren.
Give me a couple more days.
Dick that bomb, huh? Oh, no, sorry.
No, I don't think that's happening.
Alright, well, 38th will pass.
Lauren, you do realize that we are going to be on a time crunch, right?
She is going through her stages of grief in her own way so that she will be a normal person again, okay?
Well, normal with an
Ish.
asterisk at the end of it.
Normal-ish.
Normal enough.
Alright, 39th will roll around. Anything for the 39th? Lauren, are we still in the woods?
I'd like to say yes, but I also don't want to keep the party waiting too long. So let's do one more day, and then she'll go back.
Okay. On the evening of the 39th, I do think that Gideon would approach the Lost Emeralds who are present in the Presidium.
Mhm.
And we'll sit down at the table, we'll say, in the main hall. And for a minute or two, he doesn't really say anything. He definitely seems almost as though he's second-guessing what he's about to say. But eventually he takes a deep breath and just kind of turns his head up to everyone and he says, If you are so inclined, we have been working on something downstairs that I think you might be able to help with. Maybe in the coming months.
That's a very vague statement.
I do not want to say too much up here, but suffice to say that it is a delicate situation for the Watch, for our Presidium.
Okay.
And it's not something that I can afford to speak loosely about.
Well, if you would like to speak to all of the Lost Emeralds, you might have to wait till tomorrow. But I'm certainly curious.
Well, if your party is so interested, shall we say, I would appreciate your utmost discretion when it comes time to actually discuss the matter.
We can do that. I think we've all kept secrets quite a while.
I will await your party's return. But for now, I think our work down there is at a standstill. Until then,
Yes.
let me know.
I did just think of one thing that could have happened in any of these days, but getting an update from Gerald about, like, not an update, but just like going over what happened to him in Chaser, just because that's been in my mind, on my mind recently. There's the word.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Gerald, I think, would be able to recount for you with some consternation that he had been in Chaser, following up on word that the Tranquil Pain, the artifact he's been looking for off and on for years now,
I remember.
was passing through the city. There was a magic mirror, he was told by a contact, that was being sold in Chaser. So he went to look into it. His contact, a halfling dealer by the name of Corbel Leafbelly, set up a meet for him to actually examine the mirror outside the city's walls, well clear of, or not the walls, outside the city's boundaries, out in the desert, well clear of any potential witnesses. And he set up an ambush instead of a sale. He and about 50 dudes all jumped Gerald, stole his armor, his weapons, and everything else, and ran off back into the city with it.
Okay. That is much more thorough than what I wrote in my notes for that session. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we're doing next, and getting the sense that people need a little bit of a break from Freeport. So that might be on the docket in the near future, Gerald.
Can't say I would recommend the city as a place to stay for long, but I can understand a break.
Yeah, not so much to like take a vacation, more just to not be here for a little bit.
Yeah, no, Chaser's pretty shit, honestly. It's mangy. I know there's some muckety mucks that are buying up property in the hills south of the city, but for as long as I've known about it, it's always been pretty rough. But if there is money and magic to be had, you will bet your ass it's going to pass through Chaser at some point. It's a nexus for peddlers of all kinds. Big fabrication industry in that city. A lot of shady dealers.
Well, sounds like an adventure.
Just don't get jumped.
Yeah,
Don't fuck around.
One thing I learned about myself this week, I don't do well in that scenario.
Well, then travel in a group,
That's what
Nice.
I try to do.
as you do.
Okay.
All right. So, 39th will pass. The 40th will roll around. Lauren,
Yes.
Adlar will rise from his sleeping bag and just kind of shoot you a look as you guys are waking up for the morning. It's like, we staying out here today? Ugh.
Probably head back.
Okay. Let me grab all my shit. And he'll start packing up. And, yeah, within a couple of hours, you guys are back within Freeport, landing in front of the Presidium, regrouping with the party.
Welcome back.
I think I need to talk to Gerald. Thank you.
He's right over there, in the bathroom.
In the bathroom? I'll wait.
Give me a second. He'll come out of the bathroom, which is apparently where he is. And I'll be like, oh, hey, you're back. You okay?
Yeah. Do you mind if I talk to you somewhere more private? Private.
Pirate Vit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Nobody in the hall. Here. So, he'll follow you to your side and just ask, what's up?
I just wanted to apologize.
Apologize.
Yeah, after the solstice, I didn't see very much. And I didn't really tell you why, so I just wanted to apologize for not really talking to you much.
It's all right. I appreciate it. I do. I wasn't offended. I know. He'll kind of glance over your shoulder towards the next room. I kind of got the sense there was something new brewing, but we had talked about it, so we're okay.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say I'm sorry because I didn't really know at the time. So, yeah.
I think you might be the only one who didn't know.
Yeah, I got that. Definitely got that.
He'll definitely give you just like a warm pat on the shoulder.
Yep.
It's like, seems like a decent guy.
Yeah, he's alright, I guess.
You guess. It's a ringing endorsement.
I can't make him too confident, or then he'll never shut up.
It's true. And he's an elf, so you know it's gonna last
Exactly.
centuries of it.
Exactly.
Never hear the end of it.
Exactly.
Got the same problem with Gideon.
Yep. Just give him enough to go by, but not too much.
They'll come by naturally anyways.
It already does.
Good luck with that.
I'll need it, thank you.
I think Gideon was going to loop your friends into his little basement project.
I heard about that. Well, no, I didn't. Oh, that's cool. We love a good basement project. That doesn't sound sketchy at all. It's not like a sex dungeon thing, is it?
Gerald kind of just raises his eyebrows like, nah, it's big.
No sex dungeon? That's depressing. Okay, well, I'm
Never
less
mind.
interested, but fine.
He just kind of shakes his head like, I think they might be waiting. Come on. And he'll head back out towards the group. And I think in the main hall, Gideon and Aaron would have probably come up from the dungeons, and Alexi and their company. So, suppose this is the last call for turning back. Can't really unsee what you're about to see. Then again, if you do wish to see, I do implore you all to please not speak terribly freely about this, if at all, with anyone outside this fortress.
Would not. If you want us to keep it a secret, we will do our utmost to make sure it stays one.
Please do. Beside him, Alexi has a very big, very excited smile on his face. Like, it's a good one.
Okay.
Shall we? And Gideon just kind of nods. He says, yes, let's carry on. And they will lead you guys down towards the dungeon and down the singular hall of cells from the guard room, past the sealed water elemental, and towards the bend in the hall that you were kind of poking around, Noel. And they will stop about halfway down the hall and turn to face sort of the outer wall of this bend, just this blank stone, rough-hewn, completely unremarkable. And Gideon will place one hand on it and begin to mutter something in, might be infernal, might be abyssal, you're not sure. Definitely sounds fiendish. And you see under his hand this red light that grows and glows kind of orange, yellow, and takes on this sort of fiery ambience and begins to expand from underneath his palm. And you see a gap in the stone beginning to form as this large circular hole sort of opens up and forms this very smooth, clean tunnel through the wall, kind of lined with this fiery light. And you can see the passage extends almost 20 feet before opening up into a new chamber. Gideon will just kind of gesture and allow you to proceed first.
Okay.
Is this a sex dungeon?
No.
It's boring.
Alexi's like, it's a way cooler.
Lexi, it better be. I'll be disappointed.
And together, your group will make it their way through this stone passage. As you step into the chamber, Gideon will sort of place a hand next to this passageway and close it up behind you all. And with the orange light fading, the only light source in this chamber is also fading. For those of you with dark vision, you can see that you're sort of standing on this stone landing with stairs leading down to a lower level, maybe 20, 30 feet down below this platform. The ceiling overhead appears to be vaulted and wide, kind of arcing out into the darkness beyond the reach of what you can see in the dark. And then Gideon snaps a finger, and overhead, these large, heavy metal sconces that are sort of suspended by chains all at once kind of light up and down this chamber. And what you see is what looks like a massive dry dock. There are wooden supports, sort of like ribs, kind of running along this large depression in the center of this massive chamber. And held up by these ribs, there is a very large, very ornate winged ship, dusty and corroded, but apparently intact. You can see cannons running along portholes along the hull, kind of protruding out of them. You can see a very large, heavy, cylindrical shape kind of running across the center of the deck, like lengthwise along the middle of the ship. Almost like a gigantic cannon that kind of pokes out the front, although at this angle it's hard to see. And you can see the helm of this ship seems to be encased in a very sturdy sort of metal enclosure with a thick, kind of frosted pane of probably magically reinforced glass, sort of allowing visibility into that chamber. And Gideon just kind of gestures at it and says, no, this is it. This is the big secret.
A warship.
A ship?
One of the original ships of the Watch. Back before Illyria fell. We've managed to hold on to it. And it's in some part thanks to the ship that we were able to fight off the 7th incursion. But it was damaged in that fight. The engine was ruptured, and we have not been able to repair it since. But we've gotten close. And with Alexi's help, honestly, we might be able to work around the original design. And beside him, Alexi is clearly like just waiting for his chance to speak. And he's just like, honestly, I wouldn't call this my specialty at all. But, the thing with the Illyrian designs is that they really aren't much different from just a standard spell writesmanship. I mean, what you're looking at is far more advanced than anything Indigard's put out in the past 200 years. And I'm sorry. I never thought I would see a ship like this in my lifetime. This is really something.
It's impressive.
Beautiful. It goes without saying, obviously, if anyone from out west found out this was here, they'd raise the Presidium to the ground. So, I can understand your caution, Gideon. And Gideon just kind of nods like, yes, I've been leery about advertising its presence here. But If we can get it running again, I think it could be a very valuable asset in the fight to come.
So the pitch here is that you want us to ride the warship with you. Is that correct?
Well, that's up to you. The pitch here is that we need components to get this thing back in the air. And
They want us to play.
Gerald mentioned you were
Shopkeeper.
considering looking at Chaser.
You think they'll have parts of Chaser?
Well, and Gideon, or not Gideon, Alexei kind of pipes out. He says, maybe. That's the thing. There might be a way to work around it without the proper parts. That I'm still working out. But if the proper parts are available in Chaser, we wouldn't even need to do it that way. So, it's just sort of a... Since you're in the neighborhood, if you could maybe keep an eye out for them, that could save us a lot of work.
You could give us a list of what to look for.
We can show you. Gideon will gesture down to the ship and invite you to board if you are so interested.
Sure. Still want the list, but yeah, sure.
Oh, heck yeah!
Yeah. As he leads you on board, Aaron will just kind of quietly pull a small list of items from inside of her armor and hand it to you.
Thank you.
Just so that you can see what they look like. And Gideon will lead you guys onto the deck, up this gangplank, and towards this like heavy metal, like hermetically sealed door with like a cylindrical sort of twist lock on the exterior. The whole time, Alexei's just like, so this model was actually built probably 4 years after the first incursion in preparation for the next one, right? And they built probably 200 of these things. And like he's just going off, he's nerding out hardcore. But Gideon just leads you into this kind of main stairwell and down probably 3 levels towards a heavily reinforced like hull level at the bottom of the ship. And I think for Noel, John, and Burberry, you are somewhat stricken by the familiarity you feel as you're sort of exploring this interior. This ship definitely reminds you of the vessel that you found on Montibon. The metalwork and the component construction definitely differs in, the actual style and assembly, but this layout, we'll say at least, is definitely kind of coming back to you very quickly. And as he leads you kind of into the center, into the heart of the ship, towards the actual drive engine of the vessel, you find yourself looking at a very similar mechanism to the one that you saw back on Montibon.
Like on the way, Noel probably would end up just blurting out like, oh, and then the ammunition room would be back there, right?
Yes, it would.
It's very similar to the one we were stuck in Montibon, actually.
So, fun fact, as Alexei pipes up.
Same one. Did you get it?
Most of the Illyrian void ship designs are actually derived from the progenitor civilization from which Illyria splintered off back during the collapse, which I'm pretty confident may have had some very close ties to the Blue Legion. Fun fact. I'm not well known, not well documented, but if what you're saying in this is that's fucking cool. Gideon's like, yes, this is the engine, as he gestures at the big machine. And even looking at it just from memory, Noel, you can definitely see there are some very important pieces missing. The rings that sort of orbited the central crystal, which is also missing, are not there. There are some sort of cylindrical cases that you can see kind of strewn off to the side, completely shattered, pulverized. It would look like just these are not reparable. All that's left of them really is the metal end pieces of these housings. And Gideon says, so these slot in here. This is supposed to power this. Here, there's like a rotational, and Aaron's like, we don't have to get into the technicals of it, but if you can find anything that was watch produced for a Juggernaut class void ship dating back to, what was this, 130, 140? 36. At least back to 36. We can use it.
That's so specific, but I mean, we'll try.
I'm not expecting you to find anything, honestly.
Is
Gideon
there
will say, but if you do.
Is there like a way to ask for these things that doesn't make it so obvious that we are like, constructing one of these? Because that was a big secret, right? Because I imagine we're going to go up and our dealer's going to be like, oh, what are you building? Why do you want that? So.
Well, there was a reason that we dealt under the table as often as we did, despite the risks. And he'll just kind of tilt ahead towards Gerald and just like, yeah. We worked with some Conspire adjacent folks for most of our procurements. Orbital was Conspire before he pulled that fucking stunt. I don't even know what he's up to anymore, but point being, Station is a place you can get stuff without too many questions, as long as you're willing to pay for it.
So, just to make sure everything's clear, what does this ship do exactly? Like, it goes across planes? Or is there something very specific that you're looking for it to do for you?
Well, I mean, this is older than Aaron's like, yes, this ship is capable of traveling across planes. It is capable of leaving planar systems entirely. But that is not our primary interest. We're more interested in just getting this initial kind of point up towards the massive cannon that's kind of running through the center of the ceiling, getting this thing up into the air.
Couldn't we go to the shipwreck that we found and get the pieces?
That crystal
I did kind of already tell the Alliance that it exists. So if you're going to do that, it's a race.
Also, the crystal's totally destroyed.
Also that. But it did have the rings.
They were pretty fucked when you last saw them, to be fair.
I said it had them, I did not say they worked.
It had them at one point. It no longer does.
Yeah. Gideon just nods. He's like, hey, the ship's extraplanar capabilities are guarded secrets at this stage, but hardly really relevant to the conflict at hand. If we can blow those fucking things out of the water, that's really all I care about.
Yeah, massive.
But I'd rather not word get out about this thing before we can get it moving. I think we can deal with the fallout when that time comes.
Out of character, do we know what these terms that Alexia was using, like void space and traveling the void?
I'll say give me an Arcana check.
Oh, I rolled good. But I don't think I have much in Arcana.
I'd say religion too, actually. If you got any religion, would also be doable.
It is exactly the same. 20 total, though.
20.
Nice.
Okay.
Would you like assistance in case you roll higher?
Sure, if it's...
Take it. I have the Arcana proficiencies.
I rolled 1 higher, so 21.
21. I would say that you're not an expert in the field necessarily, but you understand the stories. You are familiar with the history. Varagos was founded in the wake of the collapse. This was this sort of cataclysmic wave of conflict and war and destruction that kind of swept across countless planes centuries ago. And back then, many planes did not enjoy the benefits of divine protection. It was an exception rather than the rule. And back then, most planes were laid bare to an empty, ravenous void, a blank nothingness that gnawed away at the edges of existence. It is not something that you've dug into in much depth over the course of your life. Never had reason to, but the stories paint a very bleak picture of that time.
Crazy. I familiar with some of this, but you just wanted to have access to the big gun. Sounds like.
Yes, I think that would be a useful weapon.
Do you think you could kill one of those worms?
I'd hope we can kill a few of them. I'd hope we could also put down one of the other flying fucking ships this pirate man has.
That would be amazing.
Without flying into its belly ourselves.
Right. Part where we... skipping the part where we actually blow it up ourselves. Nice.
I think Burberry's just staring at Gideon since he just used the F word. Like, what?
So you know it's serious. Well, we will keep this to ourselves, and we will look for your parts, assuming we do go to Chaser here shortly.
As I said, I'm not expecting much, but if you do, it would be massively helpful.
We will do our best.
Thank you. In the meantime, he thinks he might be able to find a workaround, so we will continue puzzling over that. Lexi will chime in again. It's like, yes, well, so I think if we can tap into that extraplanar bit of engineering was not my strong suit. The tubes, what do you call those? Vectors. Yeah. So and he'll kind of peel off with Gideon and just continue kind of like going over the idea.
Sure.
Aaron, meanwhile, will just kind of just nod, just thank you, and lead you guys back up out of the ship.
Yeah, I guess we're done in here. That is very cool. Be quite a benefit to us in the fight.
That's the hope.
Till that day, though, I suppose we need to figure out what we're doing next.
I suppose we'll be chasing down stuff in Chaser then.
Sounds like it. I have like a teleportation circle in Chaser, right? That we have access to now.
Yes.
Well, shit, guys. We can do that whenever the hell we want. Gerald, any tips for tracking down these armor thieves? People to talk to, connections, their hideout, you know, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Hideout would be super good to
It
know.
would be great, so you should tell us.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Be too easy. Like you guys said you do like illegal dealings, right? Like, what you got?
Orbital was our go-to. He had some front people. Kitcher something. And Henry Kitcher. He runs a tavern just outside downtown. Big 3-story place, narrow building. It's like the Crimson Claw. That's it.
Crimson Glow?
Claw.
A claw.
Like a big cat.
You.
Oh, I was thinking like a lobster. Maybe just hungry. We should have lobster for lunch.
I mean, we can afford it now. Shit. But yeah, Kitcher was the guy we talked to initially before we actually got a direct line to Leaf Belly. And I think he's still working for Leaf Belly, so you might be able to get to him through there. Although, if you go in looking for him specifically, that might be a tip-off, so just, tread lightly. You might be able to get another lead. I mean, if you start asking after just after watch suits, right? Void suits, old Watcher weaponry, he dealt in a lot of that stuff. It was a lot of how we got kind of material and armaments after the last incursion. It was salvage his people would dig up or procure.
Right.
That might be another way in.
Any other connections or contacts that like outside of Kitcher that like are historically reliable magic item dealers?
Oh, or information sources.
Yeah. That too. This is a question for Gideon, maybe?
No, I did most of the footwork and outside of the Presidium. It's just been a minute. Sorry. Let me think. There's Orina. Linkos Orina. She was good. Hard to get a hold of. She took security very seriously, but
What is her...
she always had pretty reliable information.
Oh, she's kind of... She knows a lot, sounds like. Okay.
Well, she she didn't deal in direct procurement so much as just leads, really. People come to chase her looking for all kinds of shit, and she was real good about making connections for folks. But in the course of that, she also gets a lot of news kind of filtered into her.
Right.
And yeah, she was helpful. She was very helpful back in the day. I'm pretty sure she's still going.
Okay, something to look for.
Yeah. I mean, as far as vendors, like I said, we primarily went through Leaf Belly, but I mean, you've got your pick of people in Chaser, honestly. It's not too different from how things are run here. It's just there's a lot more of it. You've got brokerages on just about every street corner. You know, somebody's dealing something. Every part of town. And some of them run legit, do all the proper papers, track all their military hardware, everything they offload, you know. Others don't give a shit. It's just kind of, what are you looking for? I mean, we went with Leaf Belly because as a shady dude, he could get a hold of pretty potent shit. And we didn't really have to file for it.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure he was stealing some of it, but, you know, it's the cost of reclaiming old material.
Well, here's hoping we can get your armor back, or something equivalent.
That'd be something. Appreciate y'all looking into it.
It would be very nice to have you at full power for the upcoming combats.
Yeah, that would help a lot. Feel like there's not going to be much I can do against those things from the deck of a ship.
I know it's... Okay, well, that's a great start. Thank you.
Yeah. And any other questions? Y'all got a sending stone.
Yes, we do. Well, I guess we just have to decide how soon we're going. Do we want to go today? Do we want to go tomorrow? Do we need to buy anything ahead of time? Does anyone have any thoughts?
Go today.
Good.
Today's fine.
Okay. The only other thing that I
Oh, we
wanted...
should get sandwiches to go. And lobster.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I will... The only other thing that I wanted to do today was talk to Gideon very briefly. If I could pull him aside just when he comes up for lunch or something. I don't know what time of day it is, but...
Yeah, that's fine. So, kind of get his attention during a midday break and step aside with him.
Sure. I just had a question. Gideon. Very cool stuff. You reminded me, though, or this all reminded me, that Aaron and I were talking a few days ago regarding Rainer and Secundo's mission right now. Did Willem worship the Leviathan?
I have a very strong suspicion that was the case. Although I do not know if he realized what he was in communion with.
The Leviathan
As best...
just like pretending to be other gods or something?
I'm not sure that it deceived him so much as he never really cared what he was dealing with. In all of my conversations with him, he's always played very coy and smug and cagey with details, and at this point I'm personally suspect that he genuinely didn't have a good answer as to what or who he was drawing from. I think he just relished the power.
Noelle had seen one vision, maybe one or two. I remember she failed at least one save to the dagger. I'm curious if any of the imagery back then, it kind of clicks now that she like focuses and thinks back on it, or if it's totally just different vibe.
I think because you also went into like the inner sanctum of the temple, right?
No, only Burberry did.
Burberry was the one that went in.
Burberry and maybe one other, but I know
I
Burberry.
don't.
Yeah, I
Lauren
put
did.
blood on the door. It was great.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I mean, you're thinking back to this nightmare imagery you had after coming into contact with that fucking dagger.
Yep.
And the flashes you got in your mind of this massive, hulking, dark shape, sort of ringed, sharp, these concentric circles of gleaming red eyes kind of shining out from amidst it all. It definitely feels similar. Thinking back to the spawn in the harbor that you were very close to in the midst of that fight.
Yes.
You don't recall seeing those rings of eyes necessarily, but you do recall, I think, some of these large, sharp spines definitely had these sort of like fleshy nodules in the center of them in places. And the pattern that you saw there was similar to the arrangement in your vision.
If I squint, I can kind of piece these
There's
together.
kind of like interesting
like a
lineup.
magic eye puzzle.
Yeah.
That is good to know. I guess it tracks with how Willem kind of acted. Didn't really seem too fussed with the details of his power, just reveled in having it. It's good to know. I wish that we could have sussed all this out earlier, but
There was no way to have known.
didn't wasn't there reports that like there were a lot of these red lights going up all across Lythor?
Yes, we have been receiving reports of sightings of this light across the Emerald Sea, across the Sea of Halan. The last that I heard from our friends in the Navy, they were planning to meet with some folks from the university uptown about these lights. There are some researchers in the faculty that claimed to have some insights into what exactly might be going on there. So.
Okay. I guess that's just something to chew on. I don't know. I guess it just all kind of clicked when Aaron said that, and I wanted to know if you knew. That's all.
Unfortunately, my primary source is the most unhelpful, least forthcoming severed head I have ever had the displeasure of talking to. So, unfortunately, I do not know much.
I should just get rid of that thing at this point.
Might as well at this
I don't
point.
think he's gonna have a change of heart.
Especially since he doesn't have
He
one
doesn't
anymore.
have one to change.
I
I
had
just
hoped.
walks by and throws that into the conversation.
Just drive by, fucking whip. Yeah. Gideon just kind of sighs and nods, and he's like, "Yes, I had hoped there might be something more to learn after his reaction to the events of the arraignments, but he's largely reverted back to his normal behavior. So, I think it might be time.
He's gone back to being a head case.
Yes. Thank you, Burberry. Well, we're going off to Chaser. You want us to pick you up anything?
Drive core components, please. If you can find them.
Okay, I was thinking of like a drink or something, but yeah, that works too.
I'm good, thank you.
Souvenir keychain.
Yeah, little I survived Chaser t-shirt.
Commemorative coffee mug.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
around, I guess, lunchtime, I will collect our lost emeralds and get some chalk.
Alrighty.
I mean, we could also just, use the thingy.
But I want to use the chalk.
But this will save you a spell slot.
Oh, that's true.
And also, we have the
yes.
thing that says we can.
Alright, we'll go do it the right way.
But we should use the chalk on the way back so that, we don't get caught with parts. Oh, I pick up my bag from the bank.
Oh, yeah.
We said it'd be ready in a few days. And
Yeah, that's
That will
good.
be ready on the 41st. So tomorrow.
Can we wait till
We can
tomorrow?
wait till tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Alright. Anything else on the 40th?
Oh, Aloran will gift Adlar the cask of honey ale she has.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the occasion?
I tried it. It was delicious, and I thought you'd like it.
A good occasion. He'll pop the top and start offering to pass it back and forth.
She will not say no.
Yeah, that bottle's not lasting the night. Anything else for the 40th?
I think I'm good.
Bright and early on the 30. Bright and early on the 41st.
Right over.
You guys can
Oh,
run in the town,
can-
grab some sandwiches.
Can we get is there a map place that might have a map of Chaser?
That's a good question.
Map place.
Are we going to run into Jay again?
Well, not this session, but now that I know.
The excitement in your voice. A
You're
map
like,
place.
Map place. Yeah, say you stop by the map shop that you purchased your last chart at, and you poke your face against the window, and floor's empty, dusty, no furniture, nothing on the walls, doors locked. There's a for lease sign in the window.
Still creeps me out.
Yep. Nothing to see there. But you can get your bag, you can get some sandwiches, and head for Fort Franco. And without much trouble, get down into the teleportation cellar, find the circle marked for Chaser, and whenever you're ready, step on through.
Did anybody want to stick anything in this bag that's not a bag of holding?
I will
No?
think about it over the next week.
Fair.
Alright,
So.
off we go. Chaser.
Well, and
To Chaser.
if my understanding is correct, like if you put it in this bag, it'll go to your thing, like to your vault.
I don't know how the details of it work like that, but
So it's a bag of savings. So like if you stick your hand in my bag of savings, it'll still go to your vault.
this correct, DM?
As I recall, yes.
So
Okay.
it should work with the same principle,
Cool.
just a bigger.
That's good to know, actually.
The storage space is not any different. It's just the door, basically, is bag of holding sized.
Gotcha.
I wanted
So-
a bigger door so I could stick my cloaks in here because it's really hard to fit a cloak in a wallet.
That's true.
Like rolling up those like reusable
sleeping bag
bags into the
rules.
little self-adhering Tiny baggies.
Yeah.
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 Also, I
Well-
can stick my cooling cooler in there too. So, stuff like that.
That's fair. Well, I think this is probably a good place to break. It's a little early, but I had the barest of bones notes for Chaser, and being this close to the end of the session, this gives me more time to prep, so I'm going to take it.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, good session, guys. We are on our way to Chaser.
We got our Lauren back.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. I thought I was gonna have to fight a bear.
I mean, I would be like curious to see a Lauren v. John at some point.
I know. I was really surprised that
Just
didn't happen
roll
last
versus
session.
the damage output.
I think John could take a bear.
Yes, but could he take 2 bears and an Aloran?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe after Chaser if I find the items I'm looking for.
Well,
Maybe.
and also to be fair, a bear's not the biggest, meanest thing a Lauren can turn into.
Also true. It's just her favorite.
If I can find the 2 items I'm looking for in a Chaser, my AC will be 25.
Jesus Christ.
I guess I
How
should
would
go
you have
look at
25
magic
AC?
items.
What was that, Bud?
I said, how would you have 25 AC?
Because I still the only item I have attuned right now is my my gloves.
Oh, the
So
gloves.
if I get the ring and the cloak, then I'll have +3 more AC, and I already have
Jesus
22.
Christ.
Well, damn.
Ugh.
Wait,
Well, no, the
what
ring and the
armor?
cloak are +1 each.
I thought the cloak was +2.
No, they're
No,
both
that's
+1 AC, +1 to all saves.
Oh, wait, what armor are you wearing?
He's
But
naked.
then I'd be at 24, I guess. I'm not wearing any armor. I'm a barbarian.
Okay, but no, sorry, my brain's like, but how do you get to 22 with no?
So my gloves make my dexterity
Nice.
19, and my con is also
+5.
added in.
Right?
What?
Is your con's +5, right?
Yeah,
Alright,
So that's
that'll do
19.
it.
and then my +3 shield or +2 shield.
21.
Is it +2 or +1?
Shields are
Oh.
+2.
I think it's
Well,
+1.
a shield is 2, but John's got a magic shield. I remember he got a magic shield. I think it was a +1.
Hang on, let me look at my
Oh,
sheet.
I mean, it would be +3 then, which makes sense.
Okay, so I have my base of 10, I have my dexterity +4, constitution +5, and then my shield +3. So that puts me at 22, yeah.
That maths.
You definitely would not have gotten hit by Adlar as much as me.
And then if I get the extra 2 items, then I'll be at 24. For some reason, the site I was reading said that cloak protection was +2.
Nope. 5e tools, man. That is the site to go to for reference.
Apparently.
Very useful.
So, making a note, we are starting up on the 41st, 4:32 in the morning. Not 4:32 in the morning. The year is 4:32. Do you want to MVP this session? We got a vote.
I'll toss it to
I'd
Cat.
say either.
I was gonna say for kicking off the conversation with Lauren. Good
Yeah, I
stuff.
was debating between the two for that.
I was going to say Adlar.
Adlar can't take inspiration. He's a fucking NPC. The biggest weakness he brings to the party is his lack of an inspiration slot.